Alrighty guys, welcome to my first official video here on George Dabdo Official. I really appreciate you guys getting me to 100 subscribers in less than 24 hours and made me feel very special, very loved. So thank you everybody who is a subscriber. Hopefully you guys will stick with me on this journey. I look forward to making some content for you. This video is just going to be kind of just an introductory video of what you can expect from the channel. I don't want to make this too long. I only want to make it about maybe a 10 or 12 minute video just so you guys don't get bored. Because no one wants to hear somebody talk about betting for an hour. So hopefully we can get this done in maybe about 10 or 12 minutes. Basically what this video is going to be about, it's going to be about UFC 292 recap, some long shot bets that I hit, just something that you guys can expect from me on how I do bet on a daily basis and on a weekly basis in regards to UFC. And then just kind of go over UFC's event tonight that they've got, Dana White's Contender Series. There's 4 fights on the card, and let's just kind of go from there. Let's have some fun. I look forward to making some videos for you guys, and I really hope you guys enjoy this video. So let's get into it. There's a couple bets that I had placed on DraftKings. Marlon Chito Vera was my biggest bet of the night. He opened up as a minus 200 favorite, so a 2-to-1. For you to win $100, you would have had to bet $200 to get your money back. He ended up closing about 10 minutes before fight time at a minus 166, so I saw tremendous value in there. Although he was a slow starter, he ended up getting the job done and got some money won for us. So then you look at the next parlay that I won. We won 3 long shot parlays on Saturday night, a plus 3,016, a plus 1164, and a plus 993, all of them with free bets, all of them either $10 or $20. So let's start with the biggest one, an 8-fight pick parlay that we had at plus 3,016. We had the Karine Silva and Marina Moroz fight to go under 2.5 rounds. We had Natalia Silva to win just the money line. We had Brad Katona. Congratulations to Brad Katona on winning the Ultimate Fighter for a second time. He's the first person to ever win the Ultimate Fighter twice. Kurt Holloway, really loved his story. Can't wait to see him compete again. Gregory Rodriguez, Chito Vera, Ian Gary, and Zhang Wei Li all won us $301 off of free money. So there's no complaints. Everyone will always take free money. Moving on to the second biggest parlay that we won on the night. And again, these don't happen all the time, so I don't want you to expect that these are going to be wins that we get on a weekly basis. But this plus 1164, we had Sean O'Malley winning at plus 205, the biggest underdog, or one of the biggest underdogs on the night to be in the main card. Then you have Zhang Wei Li minus 310, Ian Gary 485, Marlon Vera minus 180, minus 360 for Gregory Rodriguez, and minus 325 for Natalia Silva. I felt very confident in that fight, and the worst case scenario, if we really wanted to, we could have hedged with Aljamain Sterling at the end of the fight, but we decided not to. We let this ride, and we did get a plus 1164 win. 10 free dollars won us $116.46, and now we move on to the smallest parlay. It was a 5-pick. The entire main card we swept. We picked Sean O'Malley over Aljamain Sterling, Zhang Wei Li versus Amanda Lemos, who dominated that fight. Ian Gary over Neil Magny. We had Mario Bautista beating Damon Blackshear and Chito Vera beating Pedro Munoz. So again, another $20 free bet won us $198. So just on free bets there, I mean, calculating pretty easy math. Plus 200, plus 300, that's $616 roughly off of $40 in free bets. So I really hope that happens again, but there's really no guarantee on all that's going to happen. So let's move on to all of the bets that I had on FanDuel. I did have a couple bets here that did lose, or actually only one bet. Fight to start round 4 in the Aljamain Sterling and Sugar Sean O'Malley fight. Everyone knows how that fight went. Sean O'Malley won by second round TKO. And then everything else is W's. We had Marlon Vera and Ian Machado Gary, a 2-leg parlay. We had a 3-fight parlay with a profit boost of Gregory Rodriguez, Chito Vera, and Ian Machado Gary. Chito Vera again on just a singular money line. And then Gregory Rodriguez and Chito Vera parlay. And the second to last fight, we had Karine Silva and Marina Moroz, the fight not to go the distance. That fight ultimately ended up finishing in the first round with 1 second left. Silva got a guillotine choke on Moroz with 1 second left on the clock, as well as Karine Silva was really looking forward to that fight, and we ended up winning. So that was cool. We had $130 to win $100 there. And now moving on to Dana White's Contender Series. This is the fight that's happening tonight. If you guys aren't familiar with what Dana White's Contender Series is, it's a event that happens every Tuesday. Dana White has some up-and-coming prospects that fight for a chance to win a UFC contract. It's on ESPN Plus every Tuesday. I think it starts about 5 o'clock Arizona time, 8 o'clock Eastern. So tonight we have 4 fights. It did unfortunately see that 3 fights were canceled. Pereira did miss weight, so that fight was cut off. Edgar Chairez was signed to the UFC, and I believe he's fighting on September 16th. I'm actually going to that fight. Me, my fiance, and my mom are all going to September 16th. UFC Noche, Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. So we're really excited to go to that. And then the last fight that was pulled out, it looks like Tobias Harila was supposed to fight Luis Pocuelo, who is still on the card, but had some visa issues. So hopefully he's able to get those squared away and can come and fight on Dana White's Contender Series. So like I said, 4 fights on the main card. Luis Pocuelo, 7-1 versus Robbie Ring at 6-0. That's going to be taking place at the featherweight division. You're going to be looking at Isis Verbeek and Josephine Knudsen fighting, I believe, at strawweight. Let's click into this here. I don't know where we're checking this out. I'm still learning this website as well. Reach, weighing result, 115 pounds. Yeah, that is strawweight. So let's go back right out. We also have Oban Elliott and Kayk Brito fighting at welterweight. And then the main event of the night, Eli Aronov versus Zachary Reese. That's going to be at middleweight. So let's just take a look at the main event of the night. Eli Aronov is coming in at 6-0, and Zach Reese is coming in at 5-0, both on a tear, both looking to earn their UFC contract tonight. I do believe that Zachary Reese is showing as the favorite. That's where it's saying here. So we'll take a look at his record. He's 5-0, and I believe all 5 coming by stoppages. His last fight, TKO. Last fight, submission, punches, KO, and TKO. So he's 5-0 with 5 finishes, all coming by KO or TKO. Looking at his opponent, Eli Aronov is 6-0. I believe he has 2 wins. Yep, it's showing here. 2 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by submission, and 3 wins by decision. So he's pretty well-rounded. Looks like he can stop you if he needs to. And also, if you need to go a full 15 minutes, he will definitely do that as well. He's also competed in some grappling tournaments and coming from his last fight in Unified MMA. I'm not very familiar with a lot of these prospects coming from Dana White's Contender Series, unless you've got a big name like someone like Bo Nickel, Sean O'Malley, Jamal Hill. A lot of those had a lot of hype coming into Dana White's Contender Series, especially Bo Nickel coming from Penn State and the decorative wrestler he is. So really looking forward to all the fights and seeing what is to come tonight. Moving on to the co-main event of the fight, or the second to last fight of the night, we have Oban Elliott versus Kayk Brito. Looking at that, Oban Elliott is 8-2 with a record of 4-1 in his last 5. And then this is something that you don't really see on Dana White's Contender Series. Kayk Brito being 16-4, which is a pretty hefty record for someone who's a prospect. But nonetheless, 16-4 is a great record, being 3-2 in his last 5. Kayk Brito is the favorite in this fight. So coming in, let's go ahead and check his record out and who he's beat. 13 of Kayk Brito's wins have come by KO or TKO, with one of them being a loss, as well as submission, 3 wins and 3 wins by, or 3 losses, by decision. When you're looking at something like that, you can tell this guy is a finisher. He has 16 wins, 16 coming by stoppages. So you can just imagine that this guy's always looking for the finish. And when it does go to a decision, it's not something that ends very well for him. So when you're looking at that, it looks like his last 2 fights have gone by, or he's won by punches in the first and the third round. So like I said, if you need to go to the full distance, he'll take you. If not, he'll finish you up in the first round. So moving on to Oban Elliott, who is the opponent. He's 8-2 and is coming off of a 4-fight win streak, being 4-1 in his last 5. He's got 2 wins by KO or TKO, 2 losses by KO or TKO, 3 submission wins, and 3 decision wins. So when you're looking at everything, his last 3 fights have gone to a decision. So this is definitely something that I'll be looking forward to. Definitely something that you can kind of keep your eye on. One is a complete finisher. The other does seem to go to the distance a lot more. So something to look forward to. Definitely going to be looking forward to all of these fights here. Let's move on to Dana White's Contender Series, the second fight of the night. Isis Verbeek and Josephine Knudsen, one being the first or the number 1 ranked fighter out of the Nordic category, pound for pound in her weight division. Isis Verbeek is 4-1 4 of her wins coming by, let's see. All right, let's start over. Moving on to the second fight of the night, we have Isis Verbeek versus Josephine Knudsen. Isis Verbeek is 4-1, and Josephine Knudsen is 5-0, who is the heavy favorite at -280 at the moment. Let's click into her profile, just see what she's got, see what she's going to be doing. Looks like her last 5 fights, 4 of them have come by decision, and 1 of them has come by stoppage, or the stoppage of punches, TKO. So we can definitely see if this is something that's going to go the distance, or we can see if it's going to be going and being stopped early. Isis Verbeek, I don't believe, is a finisher herself. Looking at all of her MMA records, she is 4 wins coming by, or 4 of her fights going to decision, and the 1 fight winning by rear naked choke. So 1 submission win, 4 wins by decision. We can ultimately probably see this fight going the distance. So other than that, let's take a look at the first fight of the night. We'll go into Dana White's Contender Series here. Robbie Ring versus Luis Pojuelo, and we're looking at Robbie Razor Ring, 6-0, whereas his opponent Luis Pojuelo is 7-1. Robbie Ring is the slight favorite in this fight, so we'll click into his profile here. He is 3 wins, he has 3 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by submission, and everything else is all gravy. So when you're looking at his record, 6 wins, 6 stoppages, this guy's a finisher, and we'll definitely have to see what Luis Pojuelo has to offer, being 7-1 and being the older fighter by a few years. He has 6 of his 7 wins coming by KO or TKO, and 1 loss and 1 win coming by decision. So these guys are finishers. This first fight of the night should be a banger and should be a fun one to watch. I'm going to keep reiterating this because it's not something that I'm going to be betting on pretty heavily. This fight, or these fights, are going to be very volatile. It's not something that I'm going to be betting on. I just want to have some good fights to watch, and we'll definitely see how they play out. So that wraps up our video, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching this whole video. If you guys were able to stick it all the way through, I know it's hard to kind of watch somebody talk about fights or just talk about what's going on in the fights that are coming up tonight. So I really just wanted to get a video out for you guys, just so we can kind of get the basis and the ball rolling of what this channel is going to be like. Again, thank you guys so much for getting me to 100 subscribers within less than 24 hours. It really meant a lot to me. I haven't checked what we're at right now, but right around the 23-hour mark, we hit 100 subscribers. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody who subscribed. Thank you everybody who liked the video. Thank you everybody who commented on that first video. I really look forward to making some content for you guys. Please let me know how the setup is. I'm using my my iPhone as a camera right now, and just let me know what I can do to improve these videos. I really look forward to making some more content for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, thank you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow.